of the startups, the ones that we were selected by the evaluators of BBVA. And here in front of us, we have the magnificent juries. I have to tell you something about Open Talent. Open Talent is not only a competition. Sometimes we think that this is just an award, recognition that we have, that we give to the best ideas, to the best startups. But let me explain you my personal opinion about what is a competition of startups. Firstly, it's true that we give an award, we give a recognition to a startup. But secondly, one of the things that I see thanks to this competition is that we have evaluators for BBVA spending some time of the job trying to identify new solutions in the ecosystem, trying to identify new proposals, and this is something that this is magic, how we, for example, during the last 11 years, we have had over 800 people in BBVA evaluating startups. Evaluating startups, 800 people, 800 workers evaluating startups. This is magic thanks to this competition. And secondly, also, what I see is that here, the jury has, you have to know, this is the first line of the digital transformation of BBVA Spain. And they spend this morning with us. They are going to spend this magnificent time with us in order to identify the best solutions with the startups. They are going to evaluate, and they are going to break the whole agenda just to do this. And this is also magic thanks to the Open Talent competition. This is the 11th edition. You already know that. I know I was mentioning that. Over 6,000 startups already came to the startup competition as applicants. Over 800 people in BBVA, they were evaluating them. We gave 1,600,000 euros of awards during the last 11 years. And also, they were coming from over 90 countries. Imagine how huge was the competition. And having said that, I'm going to start the competition of Open Talent 2019 in Spain. Are you ready, everyone? Yes? Cool. Rule number 1, they are going to have 4 minutes. 4 minutes, maximum 4 minutes and 30 seconds, just in case. I'm going to break them in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Secondly, jury is going to evaluate startup by startup. And thirdly, you have to cheer them up because they are here to give all of they can, because they won all of them, the 10 startups, to win this award. So, are you ready? So let's start with the first startup of today. The name is Kobe, and with us we have Borja Aranguren. He's the CEO, and Kobe is one of the top SaaS solutions for companies to manage all the employees' benefits. Borja, the time is yours. Thank you.
Hello. So first thing I want to do is to ask you to think of 24 billion euros. That is a lot of money, right? It is the exact amount that was invested in venture capital in Europe in 2018. So now I want you to imagine that you take all that money and that you put it directly in the trash. How does that feel? That's what many companies are doing year over year. I'm talking about employee benefits. Employee benefits is a big market that has been growing at a high pace during the last years. That results in 95% of the companies that are already offering some kind of benefit to their employees. So that is great, right? You are all very happy in your jobs because you have the benefits that you need. No, that's not probably the answer, as it's not for the market either. Only 32% of the companies, of the employees, feel that their benefits adapt to their needs. So the difference between that 95% and this 32% of the employees who feel rewarded represents that 24 billion euros a year. And this is happening because benefits have been designed for companies and not to serve employees. Companies start buying different solutions and offer them to their employees. These are cards, blue shares, insurance, discount clubs, and this results in an unclear value proposition for the employees, which leads to frustration instead of satisfaction, and at the end is less usage of the products that they receive. So it becomes a poor ROI for the companies. From Kobe, we're here because we want to change this mess. What we're doing is we're focusing on the employee. We're bringing out unique value proposition for them with only one product, which brings a clear understanding, higher satisfaction, and at the end, more usage of the product, which results in a higher ROI for the companies. And how are we doing this? So basically, we're offering a platform for the companies where they can easily configure the benefits that they want to offer to their employees. And employees, from that moment onwards, what they have is a Visa card in order to consume their benefits on the go with the money that will be taken out from their payroll at the end of the month. And they have an app where they can see all kind of transactions and all kind of savings that they have per each of those transactions. They can even donate part of the savings that they receive. And what's our business model? We're charging a SaaS quota to the companies per active employee. We have some revenue share with selected providers like health insurance, food delivery, and other providers. And we have an interchange fee that we are receiving from the Visa cards. Regarding the competitors, there is a clear difference between the classic players and the tech disruptors. And within the tech disruptors, there is also a very clear difference between the ones that have been focusing on HR for payroll, vacations, and so on, and the ones that are now focusing on employee products. These ones were founded 6 years ago on average, and the other one is a market that is just booming. And there is where Covey is entering now. The team is composed by myself as the CEO coming from McKinsey and OnTrack, Daniel, our CTO, coming from Last Minute, and Nacho, who's coming from Gympass. And these are some numbers. So this is our revenue growth curve since our funding in September last year. We built our first product in 3 months. With that, we did some tests. We started generating revenues in the following 2 months, and we had our first seed round by April this year. We're now transacting over 250,000 euros a month. That is growing month over month, and we have over 40 companies with an average penetration of 70%. So more than 70% of the employees of each of those companies are using our product. And why are we here? Well, we want to become the next Spanish unicorn, and we want to do that together with the best partners. So for a financial product like ours, there is nothing better than doing that with one of the best financial partners we can have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Borja. I said before, one rule, that was the 4 minutes, but I didn't mention the second rule of the competition. The startup can choose the language, because we want to give them equally the same opportunities, because as you know, this is the Spanish competition of Open Talent. All of them, they are Spaniards. So they can choose, sorry about that, if one of them choose Spanish, and they are the choice. They are going to have exactly the same opportunities in this competition. Let me introduce you the second startup. We have Mi Capital. Miguel Carmiña is the CEO. Y Mi Capital es la banca privada online para pequeños y medianos ahorradores. Así que, Miguel, el foro es tuyo. Adelante.
Gracias. Bueno, seguramente muchos de vosotros en algún momento os hayáis hecho la siguiente pregunta. ¿Qué puedo hacer con mis ahorros? Quizá porque estéis pensando en compraros una casa, en independizaros. ¿Queréis cambiar de coche o compraros un nuevo coche? ¿O tenéis claro que este verano sí que os queréis ir de vacaciones? ¿O simplemente queréis sacar una rentabilidad extra a vuestros ahorros? ¿Y qué puedo hacer? ¿Cómo lo hago? Pues puedes desplazarte a tu sucursal y preguntar, oye, tengo X dinero para invertir, para conseguir estos objetivos, ¿cómo lo hago? Pero no creo que nadie de aquí haga eso, ¿no? ¿Quién va a una sucursal? Que levante la mano quien vaya a una sucursal a preguntar qué hace con sus ahorros. Me lo imaginaba. La otra opción es dedicar nuestro tiempo y conocimiento a estudiar los productos financieros que mejor se ajustan a nuestras necesidades, a nuestro perfil de riesgo. Y como he dicho antes, esto requiere tiempo y conocimiento. La solución. Soy Miguel Carmiña y vengo a presentaros Mi Capital, la primera plataforma que te ayuda a ahorrar y a invertir tus ahorros sin tener que mover el dinero de tu banco. Desde nuestra plataforma vas a poder tener control de tus rentabilidades, los productos de inversión, cómo de optimizada está tu inversión y si tienes que hacer algún cambio. Y además puedes chatear con nuestro asesor. Hemos buscado un modelo totalmente diferencial. Lo hacemos en tu banco, no tienes que mover el dinero del banco. Lo hacemos de forma 100% online, para evitar que tengas que ir a una sucursal. Somos independientes. ¿Esto qué quiere decir? Que estamos siempre del lado del cliente. No nos pagan los bancos, no nos pagan los fondos, nos pagan los clientes por defender sus intereses. Y además estamos regulados por la Comisión Nacional del Mercado de Valores. ¿Cómo se hace? Hemos diseñado un proceso lo más sencillo posible, a través de 4 pasos en las que conocemos primero al cliente, definimos su perfil de riesgo, tenemos un chat con el que comunicarnos con el cliente y conocerle un poco más en profundidad. Por supuesto, le preguntamos en qué banco tiene sus ahorros para poder ayudarle en ese banco y construimos su cartera. Esto es lo que llevamos en Mi Capital en los últimos 22 meses. Son 650 inversores de pago al mes, más de 4.500 usuarios activos, Estamos ayudando a invertir algo más de 14 millones de euros con un crecimiento mensual del 20%. Hemos decidido romper con el mercado tradicional, donde el valor está en el activo. Mi capital cree que el valor está en la confianza. Productos como Airbnb, Uber o Glovo, donde el activo no es el principal poder, sino la confianza del cliente, definen el modelo de negocio de Mi Capital. La intención de Mi Capital es el mejor y mayor asesor financiero de España sin el dinero de los clientes. Estas son las cifras solo en el año 2019. Llevamos una rentabilidad media de más del 10%. Estamos ayudando a invertir en un 40% más de bancos que en el año 2018. Hemos ahorrado más de 140.000 euros en comisiones a nuestros inversores y hemos analizado más de 14.000 productos solo en el año 2019. Y nos hemos centrado en el público más desatendido. Como vemos, hay muchos competidores, grandes bancas internacionales, bancas suizas, americanas, centrados en los ahorradores con altos patrimonios, alrededor de 400.000 clientes en España. Y Mi Capital se ha centrado en los otros 41 millones de cuentas corrientes que no tienen acceso a banca privada, pero que sí que tienen patrimonio para invertir. Y ahí es donde Mi Capital aporta su valor añadido. Tenemos un equipo multidisciplinar formado por gente que viene del mundo de la banca privada, equipo parte de tecnología y un consejo asesor que nos ayuda en la toma de decisiones. Y lo mejor de todo es que Mi Capital solo paga si ganas. Mi Capital te ayuda a invertir tus ahorros y solo te cobra si te hace ganar dinero con ello. Y es la forma que tenemos de explicar a nuestros clientes que no hay nadie más interesado en recomendar buenas inversiones que nosotros mismos. Muchas gracias por vuestro tiempo. Esto ha sido todo.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
4 minutes. That's impressive. Well, are you ready for the third startup today, this morning? We have Finteca. The CEO, Jordi Dominguez, is going to explain us the solution about Finteca because he's bringing fintech to mortgage using proprietary technology to instantly qualify and process mortgages. So, Jordi, the forum is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. Buying a piece of real estate is usually the largest single financial transaction in a person's life. And most people do that have to get a mortgage. The challenge is that this experience is usually quite lousy. So we're trying to apply a fintech to mortgages, making this process more seamless. The problem? Well, there's problems on all sides here. For the person that takes out the mortgage, it's a painful process. For the lender, and for the intermediary, if there's one needed. There's pain points everywhere. We're in a cycle where the lender wants more information. They feel they don't have enough to take out the mortgage. The lenders are shutting down branches. There's changes in regulation. Everything abounds to have pain points everywhere. So how do we fix some of those pain points? Applying technology. We apply technology to optimize the mortgage supply and demand, improving UX not only for the stakeholders, but also the engagement that those stakeholders bring to the table. For the borrowers, we have a faster and more transparent process where they don't only get a mortgage qualified from one player, but from multiple lenders, which makes their experience not only faster, but also more likely to have an outcome of a successful transaction. From the lender side, we give them more visibility to supply and demand of mortgages, improve the UX with the user because we're giving them more options at the price they're more likely to like. And also, we'll let them have more engagement with the user because we'll let them approach users and engage users that may not be traditionally in their usual range of action. For the intermediaries, if there's one needed, we help them with the change of regulation. We help them approach more end users. We help them interact with more banks. Increases the likelihood of a successful transaction, which is a good outcome for all stakeholders. How does it work? We have two commercial brands, one for B2C, which is Finteca, and one for B2B, which is ProHipotecas. The user data is uploaded to a system. Instantaneously, we qualify the person's credit score. And we know that moment where the person is qualified to get the mortgage or not. If that person's outcome is good, we send the data to the bank, who in turn gets a very qualified lead for the bank to issue mortgage. As you may see on the list of banks we have here, there's one missing. Yes, we're talking to you guys. That's also where we want to have more engagement with BBVA. The banks then send us the information back, and this information is presented to the final user, who in turn sees what type of mortgage it can qualify for, and what price it is, and the transaction that could take up to 2 weeks has been cut to 2 to 3 days. So for the user, there's a faster resolution, and more qualified, so the transaction has been improved. Who is their team? Where these people come from? We come from all sides. There's tech, there's finance, and yes, there's banking. We have a lot of experience in banking, in traditional banking and in new banking, because we think that you need a wholesome team that has all the pieces together. We know what a mortgage is like. It's a very paper-based process. We're digitalizing, we're making it fast. We know how finance works to understand the process, and there's technology. We have technology already embedded in it to make this process functional. So this is us. We're bringing improved experience to mortgages, credit scoring, applying technology to make sure that the purchase of that dream home or that dream apartment may happen faster, more seamlessly, and with a better outcome for all parties involved. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next startup of the competition is Lucas. Lucas is the name of the startup because the CEO and founder is Steve Eitenhead. And Lucas says that it's making home ownership accessible for first-time buyers. Steve? All right, so we have a change. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. No problem. No problem. We were warming up a little bit. Lucas will come later. Firstly, we have Alfonso from Finweg. Alfonso Recio is the CFO. And Finweg es la plataforma de nuevos medios de pagos electrónicos sobre tecnología blockchain que facilita la oferta de servicios a las entidades financieras. Alfonso, ready?
Yeah.
You have your 4-minute speech. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Let me start with a quick question for all of you. Do you know how many transactions are being done in Spain through promissory notes or paper checks? Well, the figure is 100 million promissory notes in Spain every year and 100 million checks. Well, this is our value proposition. In Finweg, we have developed a new digital payment solution based on blockchain technology. We want to collaborate with financial institutions in order to make them more efficient and offer new service to the clients. We have two main pillars in our value proposition. There's a first part, which is the cost efficiency and optimization. This is mainly driven by the fact that we are changing paper to digital and that the technology underlying our solution is blockchain. We have operational simplification and elimination of fraud. These are elements that is not only us who said it, is the World Economic Forum. But we believe that even more important is that we are generating new revenue streams for financial institutions. Well, this is a graph that we went to a presentation of Deloitte Financial Consulting that explains that even though 84% of the volume of transactions that are being processed by the banks comes from corporates, only 54% of banking revenue come from corporates. There's a huge gap and an enormous potential. Banks, in the last years, they have been focused on the retail and the final consumer, the corporates have been not addressed properly. This is what we believe and the value proposition we are generating. I put you the example of a promissory note that I pay my suppliers with. With that paper, the bank has no traceability of it until my supplier go to the bank and make the discount. With Finweg, the financial institutions have instant traceability of that promissory note, and they can offer discounting facilities or factoring to those potential customers that they don't have now. Furthermore, they have the ability, if that company is not a bank customer, they can offer promotions in order to make that client a new customer for the bank. This is a huge potential, and this is thanks to Finweg. We have a very strong team behind this project with more than 25 years of experience providing software to the financial institutions, so they really know the needs of the banking. Through all these years of experience, we have identified the flaws and the problems that the current system and the current payments that are used in the corporates have, and that is why we have developed this solution. Where are we now? We have already passed the proof of concept with Bankia. We've been awarded with the Oracle Silver Partner Award, and we are part of Oracle Cloud. we are trying to focus and work with Oracle with their commercial power in order to be more present in more banks. We have very hot leads that we are working on converting them in new contracts and new proof of concept. Our idea is to be present in more banks during the next years. And we have our main target, to be present in the North American market, where the figure of paper is just crazy. It's 19,000 million paper checks every year in the US. And finally, when we have 2 banks in different countries, we will be able to attack and be part and offer new services in the international transfer market. So if you need further information, thank you for the opportunity. And we are in stand number 70 if you need any question. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alfonso. Great speech. Next startup we have today, funding. Funding, we have the CEO, Nacho Bautista. And this startup is the platform that democratizes the investment in renewables. Nacho, are you ready? Yes?
Thank you.
There you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm Nacho Bautista, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Funding. Probably you guys have seen that the renewable energy sector is racing again, but it is not racing for everyone. It is racing for big electricity companies and investment funds. People who invest in huge facilities of up to 40 million euros. And they do so thanks to their investors, high-income people obtaining profitabilities of above the 10%. This is something that I realized while working for these companies where we used to evaluate and manage facilities and projects for this kind of investment funds. But I have good news, this is no longer the same. Funding is the first crowdfunding platform authorized by the CNMB that democratizes the investment in renewable energies, allowing you to make impactful investments from as low as 500 euros. But how does it work? Well, projects come to us and they need to pass through a technical analysis. Once they do so, they need to pass also a financial analysis, and we seek for projects with a profitability of above the 6% for our investors. And after that, a legal analysis, a legal due diligence is done by an independent legal firm. After that, published on the platform, and we need the other part, right? We need investors to sign up and decide in which projects they want to invest. After that, if they invest, we will get the projects funded. And for the investor, how does it work? Well, as I said, you need to sign up. You need to sign up in our platform in order to comply with all the anti-money laundering regulations and so on. You select the project where you want to invest, and after that, you invest on it as much as you want, from as low as 500 euros, as I said. And after that, you will be able also to manage your portfolio. Actually, we are launching a brand new app, mobile app, in the upcoming weeks, and you will be able to monitorize all your investment through there. Up to now, what have we achieved? Well, more than 400,000 euros invested in our projects. These projects will be able to avoid up to 2,500 CO2 emissions to the atmosphere, and we've done so thanks to our investors. Over 1,900 investors sign up in our platform. And I also want to show you how we are growing in investor sign up. This is actually the huge rise is when we launched our first project in February this year, when we got the authorization from the CNMB. Well, we are collaborating with other companies such as big banks, and we want BBVA to be there as well. We are trying to incorporate our investment products into their offering. We are also collaborating with big legal firms to make independent due diligence, legal and technical due diligence over the projects. And we are also collaborating with other startups that share our values, such as Awara and Holaluz. We've done this thanks to the team, composed of me and Adrián, the two founders. As I said, I come from the renewable energy sector. Adrián has been doing public and private huge tenders in the services industry. Anais, more than 15 years in the marketing sector, in the marketing in startups. Jesus has more than 15 years of experience as well in financial and consulting services. And then we have also Danny, our legal counsel, Javier, head of compliance, and Victor and Guzman, who are leading all the technological development of our platform. Plus 6 more people in the team also working full-time with us. So now that you know how to invest in renewables, I encourage you to go to www.funding.com and see our last project, which is currently open. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nacho. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
5 startups already pitched, and now we have 5 startups ahead. Before I'm going to tell you something, just to remind you that after the startups, the jury, who is already evaluating everything, will be, after the pitches, deciding who is going to be the winner of Open Talent in Spain 2019. And all of you are invited in the meantime to have a coffee. We will have a coffee break on this stage, in Innovation Stage BBVA in South Summit. So all of you are invited to come here, to have a coffee, to relax, and then at 12 o'clock exactly, everyone will be here expecting who will be the winner. It will be the winner announcement. All right, everything clear? That at 12 o'clock, everyone must be here to check who is going to be the winner. So next startup is Grimco. With us, we have the CEO, Jorge Portillo, and Grimco is a technology and innovation in the service for sustainable development. So, Jorge, thank you very much.
Thank you. We all are facing the biggest challenge in human history, climate change. I'm going to introduce you how BBVA and Grimco can work together in order to mitigate this environmental crisis. Current economic development is not sustainable. Funds for public and private investors are needed in order to bring innovation and technology so we can develop in a more sustainable way. Grimco is part of this solution since it facilitates financial institutions to bring this technology to companies in order to achieve United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The opportunity is huge. Already last year, sustainable debt market reached 216 billion euros. Out of these, 4 billion euros were issued for green loans. If the market continues like this, it will reach up to 185 billion euros by 2023. And you know what? The time is now. Last Monday, top world banks committed to align their lendings with the Paris Agreement. And also here in Europe, the sustainable finance taxonomy was just approved. And also huge investments are needed in order to reach the net zero carbon emissions economy. And BBVA president stated, the future of finance lies in financing the future. But how is BBVA going to know the environmental performance of their customers? BBVA know very well, and financial institutions know very well the financial performance of companies. Revenue, sales, cost, they can compare with the peers, they can establish a lot of ratios. We do exactly the same thing, but for environmental performance. It will bring you a lot of information about how these companies are doing environmentally wise. So you can also compare among them and know how they are doing, and if they get a loan, how they are improving the environmental management in order to get the Sustainable Development Goals. We developed the very first software that captures automatically all the data for environmental management and report, including carbon footprint. It will accelerate all the environmental management and performance so you can take wisely decisions in order who to give all these loans. We save nowadays up to 90% of the resources needed to do all the environmental report, compliance, communications, and all the data needed for this purpose. We also comply with the Green Loan Management Association's principles, published by the Loan Principles Association. These are some of the companies we are working with. The good news is that we are already scaling up the scale of the projects. We put 45 years of experience in environmental management, carbon footprint software development, and also digitalization. I see a strong match between BBVA and Greenco in order to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I'm George. I'm happy to collaborate with you.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you very much. Next startup, we have Lisa Seguros Inteligentes. With us, we have the CEO, Pilar Andrade, and Lisa says que hace los seguros más simples, transparentes y ágiles. Y también, ¿por qué no?, más sexys. Adelante.
Buenos días. Gracias a BBVA por esta oportunidad. En Lisa formamos el equipo tecnólogos y profesionales del mundo del seguro con más de 20 años de experiencia. Las empresas, los profesionales, los freelance que se crean en los últimos años son mucho más digitales, pero las compañías de seguros y la distribución en general no se está dando cuenta de que siguen teniendo procedimientos muy antiguos, largos cuestionarios, poca transparencia y falta de agilidad. Por eso en Lisa nos propusimos un reto, hacer más fáciles, más simples, más transparentes y, por qué no, más sexys los seguros. ¿Y cómo lo hacemos? Con una usabilidad muy estudiada, pantallas sencillas que se leen con facilidad desde cualquier dispositivo, ayudando al usuario a elegir. Con el foco puesto en el proceso de compra, el cliente elige lo que quiere asegurar y solo paga por lo que necesita. El usuario está totalmente en el centro de decisión. Somos agencia de suscripción, 100% online, la primera autorizada en España, con la autorización concedida desde el pasado mes de julio. Hemos elegido este modelo de distribución porque para nosotros, junto con los partners con los que estamos trabajando, nos permite crear productos totalmente aplicados a nichos muy concretos, incluso con nuevas modalidades de seguros on demand, real time, y vamos a poder diferenciarnos del mercado totalmente de la oferta que existe actualmente. Tenemos la mejor tecnología en movilidad y lo mejor de todo, lo hemos hecho nosotros, in-house, lo que nos permite conectarnos en procesos de compra, integrarnos con terceros, incluso con Open Banking. Vamos a ver un vídeo de Lisa. Lo realmente disruptivo es cómo nos relacionamos con las personas, con un trato humano y cercano. Atendemos a nuestros clientes personalmente y buscamos las mejores ofertas para ellos. Estamos creando productos que nos permiten llegar al mercado, reduciendo el time to market de una manera muy adaptada a los diferentes convenios y acuerdos que estamos realizando actualmente. Ya tenemos clientes con los que hemos hecho conceptos nuevos como Insuran in a Box, en el que tangibilizamos el seguro para ciberriesgo y para otros riesgos. Estamos adaptándonos con total flexibilidad a los medios de pago que requieren los usuarios. Y tenemos un potencial en este mercado de 5,2 millones de clientes, autónomos, profesionales, pymes, en los que podemos trabajar solo en el mercado nacional, que necesitan, bajo regulación, muchos de los seguros que les podemos ofrecer en diferentes ámbitos. Actualmente estamos buscando partners y inversores para seguir avanzando con nuestro proyecto y somos la agencia que ha creado 100% los seguros digitales, más flexibles y bueno, gracias.
Pilar, thank you very
Todavía
much.
no el
You
tiempo.
have to give it to the next startup. Thank you very much, Pilar. So before we have Lisa, now Lucas. There are names of the startups, no name of people. The CEOs are different, you see, right? But it's okay, it's curious. We have two startups with different names. Now, yes, we have Lucas. With us, we have the CEO and founder, Steve Eitenhead. And Lucas is making home ownership accessible for first-time buyers. So, Steven, are you ready? Yes, sir. The time is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Let me tell you about Lucas. Lucas is making homeownership accessible and flexible because we believe that people should have the benefits of having access to homeownership without sacrificing a lot of today's flexibilities. Why are we doing this? We see that today in cities, people are spending over 40% of their income in rent alone. This is not allowing them to save some money in the future. And when you need 20 to 30% of a down payment for a mortgage, you're not able to save that amount of money anytime soon. So we see it as a vicious cycle. To give you more context, in the US, the UK, and Europe, 71% of millennials are spending money on rent. And this is because they can't afford a down payment or because current lifestyle patterns do not adapt to ownership structures. At the same time, we see these problems with banks because they can't take all the risk of giving too much of a mortgage of LTVs for people. So we find a way to give a solution. We're providing a rent-to-buy model, which is accessible and flexible financing for first-time buyers. How does it work? Instead of needing 20 to 30% of a down payment, tenants can actually access only with 5% of a down payment and buy the property that they choose. So they choose a property, Lucas will come up with the remaining 95%, we'll buy it for them, we'll lease it back to them, and with the option to buy it at a predetermined price, and through the rent, they will acquire enough equity until one point they can access a mortgage. What happens? In 3 years, we want our customers to have 10% of the equity in the apartment. And then they have flexibility. They can choose. It's their decision. They can either access a mortgage, and we act as a bridge, helping them get financing, or they can extend or try to upgrade to a different property or apply for a 5% back. Try it before you buy it. We do this by aligning interests, not just with the real estate sector, but also with the real estate capital and the tenants, making sure that everyone works together to make this worthwhile. To doing this, we make sure that everyone wins, and that's when we win. Real estate investors win because they get 5% upfront, they get higher IRRs, and at the same time, they have more cost-effective ways of investing. Real estate agents benefit as well because they can increase the demand of the properties they can sell, reduce the sales cycles, and also have more sales. Tenants, they have access to home ownership, they're part of the property ladder, and they can build on credit scores as well. When this happens, we win by transactions, making sure that everyone's happening operationally, and at the end, making sure that our tenants actually have a home. So to do this, tech is at the core. And we find this in distribution, quick approval, underwriting, and operations. Distribution, making sure that the real estate agencies have platforms that can facilitate how to calculate the risk for people and for apartments. Quick approval using open banking software and risk algorithms. Underwriting, making sure the properties are in line with the investment portfolio. And operations. Why are we good for banks? Because we're helping people get mortgages. They also have part of their team be part of the impact investing, helping people have access to their first homes. We can educate clients financially for a better future. They can provide microloans, and we can have validated projections for future forecasting. Now, the volume that we see in the Spanish market is pretty huge. Think about it. There's over 7.5 million millennials renting today. And then there's over 6,000 real estate agencies. If we align those interests, we can have a lot more transactions in place. And the market is massive. And we see that 2 out of every 3 person that rent in Europe would rather own. And 10% of the market today, we see in 2025 being a rent-to-buy model. So we're early in the stage. We're increasing our scaling opportunities with underwriting and then owner financing. And our approach has been recognized by international and local media. This wouldn't be possible without a team coming from San Francisco, New York, London, Latin America, and Madrid with a real estate and fintech background. So thank you. That's Lucas.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you very much. Next startup, Urbanitae. With us we have Diego Bestard, es fundador y CEO. Y Urbanitae es una plataforma de crowdfunding autorizada por CNMV y Banco de España que permite invertir en grandes proyectos inmobiliarios con cantidades pequeñas. Diego, adelante.
Gracias. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Like Pedro said, I'm going to talk to you about Urbanitae. And Urbanitae is a platform that crowdfunds large real estate projects and makes everybody be able to invest in them. Now, I want to start with a question. And it's a question based on a feeling that made us create Urbanitae. And it's, don't you get the feeling when you're walking down the street, you see those beautiful big buildings, big commercial properties? Don't you get the feeling that those properties always end up in the hands of professional investors? I mean, I certainly did, right? So through Urbanitae, we focus on bringing those types of opportunities to a crowdfunding platform and allowing anybody to invest in them with small amounts of money and zero hassles. Because let's face it, I mean, investing in real estate makes a lot of sense. It's a great way to build a portfolio. It's a great way to diversify your funds, but it's definitely got some drawbacks. Number one is the access to opportunities. Like I said before, and what we've been seeing on our end is that the best opportunities in real estate never make it to the small investor. They stay within the best professional investor network. Through Urbanitae, we crowd small and mid-sized investors to have enough capital leverage to be able to compete against these large real estate funds. Number two is diversification. I mean, this is rule 101 in the investing manual, right? You want to diversify your money. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Well, the problem with real estate is that when you invest, generally you need to put a lot of money down on a single property. So you're taking a lot of risk. Through Urbanitae, you can take that ticket size, chop it up into 20 or 30 pieces, and invest in all types of real estate in different projects. And number three is the management of the property. Anybody who has ever invested in real estate knows it's not something you throw money at and then sit back and relax, right? There's a lot of work involved, from the purchasing to the renovations to tenants. Well, through Urbanitae, you're investing into a professional developer that does this for a living, and I assure you they do it better than you and I can do. Some of the examples of things we've done in the past we've looked at. Up top, you see commercial real estate. This is generally income generating through rental. We've done supermarkets, gas stations, prime commercial real estate. And at the bottom, you see build-outs you buy buildings, you fix them up, you sell them for a profit. And the returns are, great money for an average small investor. How does this all work? Well, it's pretty simple. It's very similar to other crowdfunding platforms. We have a large network of developers that bring us a bunch of opportunities. Our analysis team analyzes first the developer to make sure that they're a good one, and second, the project they bring us. And once we find the best developers and the best projects, we put them up on our platform so that everybody can invest in them. Once we fund those projects, the developer takes care of building out the system, purchasing the property with that money, and then any proceeds that are generated through rental income or from capital gains once the property is sold are distributed amongst investors. How big is this market? Well, this is one of those markets where the numbers don't really make sense, right? I mean, these are estimates, but it is estimated about 100 billion euros in transactions last year, and about 10 to 12% of that is just investment properties alone. This means that with our goal of doing 40 million in the first 12 months, we're not even touching a 1% of the market. This is a gigantic opportunity. How do we make money? Well, I try to simplify this as much as possible. I call it the rule of 5. Currently, we charge 5% of everything we raise through our platform. And in the future, and especially in other markets, we will also charge a 5% of rental income generated and a 5% of the capital gains. We have a great team. Everybody says they have a great team. We really do. You're only seeing 10 people here. It's actually 12 of us now. We're growing really fast. We didn't quite have time to put them up here, and 10 just look better. So anyway, we're growing. We have a team of people that have been in the sector for a long time, and that's what we do. So I'll leave you with a question, and we started with one. And my question is, why are you still investing in real estate the old-fashioned way? There's a new generation of investing. It's faster, it's simpler, and it's a hell of a lot smarter. That's what Urbanitae. Thank you.
Diego, thank you very much. And last but not least, the last startup. The name is Guniverse. With us we have the CEO, Abel Navajas. And Universe is the mobile-first tax-free operator. No more queues and no more forms. Are you ready, Abel?
I'm
You
ready.
have the forum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. What would you think if I told you that in the middle, whoops, now, that in the middle of the forest of digital entrance in the travel industry, there is still a service, a travel service that is completely undigitized. I'm speaking about the tax-free shopping. Show hands. How many of you are travelers? Hello? Okay. How many of you shop while at travel? Great. And how many of you shopped without taxes? At least once. Just 3. Just few people, few travelers use this service. Just almost nobody repeat. So, imagine you are in the plane, you land in an unknown country, you go to the hotel, then you go to a store, and you find a QR code. Then you take your mobile, you download the app, and once you are in your hotel, you take a picture of the receipt, and when you leave the countries, when you are in the airport, you take again your mobile, you scan a QR code at the kiosk, and then you get the money back in your wallet, in a credit card, in your bank account, in your currency. Imaginaros que ahora puedo hablaros en castellano, pero ¿cuántos viajeros vamos a otro país y no saben el idioma de donde están comprando? Y tienen que pasar por un proceso totalmente burocrático para poder ejercer sus derechos. Nosotros, en nuestra plataforma, guiamos al viajero durante todo el proceso de una manera muy delicada, muy cuidada, robotizada, pero con humanos reales detrás. La idea es que no tengas que interactuar con nadie en una lengua que no es tuya. Ahora mismo tienes que llevar el pasaporte, enseñarlo en la tienda, rellenar formularios, encararte con un vendedor que no tiene ganas ni le apetece hablar de esto. Luego llegas al aeropuerto, lo mismo, no sabes dónde está, te pierdes, no lo reclamas. 15 minutos contra 90 minutos. Esto es tan fácil para los retailers que lo pueden ofrecer como que no tienen que hacer nada. Todo se hace en el app y por parte del traveler. Hablamos de un mercado en Europa de más de 8 billones. Solo en Europa. Primera y segunda potencia del mundo en turismo. Francia, España. Si unimos Italia y Portugal, cogeremos gran parte del turismo mundial. Para poder hacer esto, hemos montado un equipo con la experiencia en el mercado, en el sector, con la experiencia de emprendimiento y con el liderazgo tecnológico. Aparte, un equipo fantástico, lo tengo aquí en la esquina, al que saludo. Hola chicos, con una mezcla muy de perfiles muy seniors, perfiles jóvenes, para poder crecer a largo plazo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Abel. So that was the last speech of today of the Open Tunnel Final Spain 2019. But before, let me do just the last announcement before to have the break. The first one, don't miss the content that this morning we are going to have in this stage. We are going to talk about this A. Do you know some of you, why we have this logo? So later on, after the announcement, we'll have here the experts that they are going to explain you what happened here and about the corporate logo. Secondly, also we will talk about behavioral economics. We will talk about also quantum computing, and as well certain topics related to sustainable finance and the 2 challenges that we are launching here in South Summit by BBVA. So don't miss all this interesting content. And before that, we'll have, of course, the announcement of the winner of this Open Talent competition. That will be at 12 o'clock. All right? So everyone, you are more than invited to have here a coffee networking. I'll see you later at 12 o'clock. Thank you very much.